Could it go to a third party? Could someone else house those?
That's what it is now, and we cannot do that, no.
How about, when's the last time we talked about purchasing that property from Dollar General, or the piece along the side of the police parking lot or down behind the back? We were supposed to negotiate to get that into the township hands. So we could put stone between the current parking lot that faces Dollar Store and,
That could be an option if the board wants it. We need it at the police department. I, again, wanted to make sure that we weren't taking too much of this parking area, which we aren't. You're still gonna have a throughway. It's just, again, I think it's, don't quote me on this, 16 feet out from the garages. So we did all the measurements just to kind of make sure it's gonna fit. It should fit fine. We just like 2 vehicles out, basically. We were able to get 2 vehicles out. No, it's, I wish I had the measurements, maybe I could have it here. I actually do, I'm sorry. The 38 feet, I'm sorry, y'all. The length of it from garage to garage is 42, and then there'll be an 18-foot double gate that's in the center. So we have the SWAT trailer that's in the garage over here, which they bring that in and out. Anytime there's a SWAT call out, that's where all their gear is. We tow the vehicle out. We have the speed trailers in there. It just gives us more buffer room for the garages. We are obviously taking over the garages. We don't have much room in there now. But we can keep the vehicles in there, large vehicle if we need it. Those are the measurements. But again, we're not going to go to the corner towards the police department side because of that curve. I'll use that bay open for a sally port for if we have an arrest, we just pull right there. We can take it in the garage door there like we are currently now. So there's that one big garage door. If you're looking at the back of the building, to your right, that's where that's going to still be open. The only 2 garages I'm going to actually enclose is the far left one where the SWAT vehicle is and the SWAT trailer, and then the other garage, if you're looking at my garage in the back, the one on the left. So it's not really a big area, but it's more than enough to keep a vehicle in there if necessary. And then if the tow truck needs to back in there and drop the vehicle off, it can be dropped off. It gives us a little more security too, if you want to look at those options as well, because that's where we take all our gear and take it out of the vehicle. We actually put all our gear in the vehicle. I'm sure you guys have all seen shift change. The officers are taking shields out, equipment out, any kind of medical stuff that they carry, so they can back in there. And we could also park our trailers out there if necessary. We like to try to keep them indoors. It also gives a little buffer to, use that area as well and protect it.
Are you going to charge storage for them cars?
What's that?
Are you going to charge storage?
Not when it's evidence, no. We're not in that business. So we would just take that, secure it. Once the police department's finished with it, and we can give it back to the owner, or if an insurance company does take the vehicle, because it's usually damaged, we will release that vehicle as soon as we can.
Get a price on that fence and going.
Dawn, you wanted to ask you, I think what we're looking at is trying to get bids to see what we can get the lowest price for. And I obviously want to make sure it looks like it belongs there, the color matches the building, the privacy slots or slats are in there to make sure that we're not seeing a lot of stuff back there anyway. We want to protect it. We don't have to put tarp over the vehicle like we have in the past. And again, this is just going to have, the gates can be open when we're not using it, so it won't look like, there's a big, huge 8-foot fence covering up the back of the garages. We'll just try to keep it open, and again, when we need it, we'll definitely have it there. I have all the cameras there. It's not going to take any parking spaces. It's basically going to take the spaces in front of the garages.
Right, that's a staging area right now.
Yes, correct, yes.
Just go with the prices, I mean, you can't hurt anything.
Dawn said he'll do
But
that.
in order, if we're okay with him putting it up, can we give him a limit, don't exceed, and then let them accept whatever bid, so they don't have to keep coming back month after month?
I don't even know what to say about the exceed.
Well, you did get
Yeah,
one price.
it's, the one price that we would probably look at, it's actually local, it's Canonsburg Fence Company. Because we had to bring someone out professionally to kind of give us an idea about posts, what type of gates would be proper. I believe Bill Bottorfi actually knows this one individual, so he did give a price so far of $14,400.
It's under that bid one. anyway.
Correct.
That's what I said, yeah, it's under the
There's
20.
3 quotes.
Yeah. Yeah, so as long as it's not getting to the point where it needs to be big,
Yeah, and I believe if the township in how many years
that's what I
decides
was, yeah.
to take it down, it's not going to be a big issue to do that.
Maybe we look
So
at
can
somewhere
we-
else.
We could definitely use the fence, you know.
So can we authorize I'm gonna make a motion that we authorize the township manager to accept the lowest quote for the fence. No, as long as it doesn't exceed the $20,000 per bid. So I just.
I second.
Moved and seconded, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, moving on to old business. Discuss PA Turnpike Violations. So as you know, we've gone round and round and round with the turnpike over by Cherry Brook. We entered into an agreement. They aren't abiding by the agreement. We had a face-to-face meeting with them, I can't remember when, in March. They swore up and down that they weren't doing anything. I provided proof. I actually had proof myself, as did Supervisor Savave, where we were over there and video recorded it. And they said that things were going to get better. They didn't. Gretchen had another call with them, and they claimed it wasn't them. We actually have a resident who lives over on the front row of the Cherry Brook that's just video recording every night. And I think at this point, we just need to go back to court. We need to go back to court to Judge Emery and just tell her, like, look, we entered into this agreement in good faith. They aren't abiding by the agreement. We have proof. We have the nights. They're claiming that they do have the ability to work occasionally overnight, but if you, for those of you that, we all get the Turnpike update, if you actually look at it, it'll say, we're gonna work overnight any day between Saturday through Sunday, or Saturday through Friday. I'm like, that's not occasional, and that's not giving us notice to let the people who live over there. So at this point, they're not gonna agree to work with us. We just need to go back to court with the proof that we have from these cameras and with the dates. He's keeping an Excel spreadsheet now of the dates that they're working past the 10 p.m. curfew. And go back to court and just let the judge kind of work it out. Everyone okay with that? Eric?
I'd rather not create any more litigations. This is another way to do it. I'd be all
We
for that.
tried. You were there.
That's my point.
Yeah, we
I just don't want to turn in court.
I don't either, but we tried, you tried, we all tried, and they just won't own up to what they're doing. When you were showing them stuff, when I was showing them stuff, they were saying it wasn't real, even though we had our own.
So the problem we face over that area is as the turnpike progressed from the McDonald area all through the parts of the township in McDonald, then past Southfield along this edge, they were constantly moving. I mean, it's not a fast project, but they were building mile after mile of road. Now that part gets done and they move out of an area and move to the next area. Here, they've been there for over a year now, they're going to be there for another year yet. So I mean, that area is just a concentrated all those exit ramps for 3 state roads, intersections there and things like that. So they're planted there for a long time. So that's why we're getting involved, that the communities are just being abused out there, and it's just endless for those people.
So, all right, so we're gonna authorize you, we'll get you. If you have communication from residents that live in that Cherry Brook corner, can you please provide it to Gretchen so that she can take it with her? I've provided her some more stuff. Eric, if you have stuff that you can provide to her, that would be, Ron, you too, that would be greatly appreciated. Somehow I accidentally got left off, but Rose Avenue, under old business. That was my fault, I missed that it wasn't on there. We had an executive session this evening to discuss Rose Avenue, and I think the board has come to a, go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, I do want to make a motion, and I know you have to let the residents speak about it after, but I want to do the motion on the floor.
Go ahead.
Second one, that the motion be to approve the permanent closure of Rose Avenue at its present terminus, including removal of the existing gate and installation of road closure signage and devices for safety.
Yep.
Seconded.
It's been moved and seconded. I'm going to open it up for anybody within the audience that wants to speak. If you want to speak, I'm going to ask you to step to the microphone and state your name and address. Hang on, let him go and then you're next.